Alright, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother AHBAD from YAHAWAH, GMA St. Petersburg, Florida. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, BaHaSham, YAHAWASHI, BaHaSham, BaRachakadash, double honors to my elder apostles at Great Millstone. Seeking hundred salutations to all you sincere brothers, constantly pushing spirit, truth, and sincerity as well. And I also want to say peace and blessings to all the sincere men, women, and children that consist of the 1/3. Give me 1 second, please. Anyways, one of the brothers in the camp, the brother Kanakala, who's second in command, he sent this article out, the group chat, but it kind of struck me a little bit, knowing how he is too as well. I eat this up, and through the spirit, I read it, and man, it's beautiful because I had an article that's gonna go right with this, but I didn't want to bring it out because I figured like some more juice would come out on this situation. And it's basically what you see right here on the screen. It says Russia looks to eliminate US dollar from trade with African countries. All right, now we all understand that after World War II, after the bomb of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, okay, that was World War I. After the bomb of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, that Henry Kissinger went to foreign countries and lent them money, all right? And they had the gold standard, meaning that, boom, you give us this X amount of gold, we'll give you this X amount of money. Make a long story short, they canceled the gold standard. So all those countries who basically got money from America, all right, they couldn't get their gold back because the gold standard was done with. Talking about pimping somebody, right? And they just bombed Nagasaki and Hiroshima, so we ain't trying to come up against that. But anyway, as you can see, all these countries, they've been doing all international trade with the American dollar. That's like saying no matter what you sell, no matter what you do, I want a piece of the pie, And that's basically like extortion, all right? So going into the article a little bit, they started to switch things up, especially Russia. It says Russian corporations are ready to find an alternative to the greenback and mutual settlements with countries of the African continent. All right, so they want to try and find a different way on how they can do international trade so that it could benefit them and those countries solely without giving a damn dime to America. All right. So they say I think it is possible to use other currencies. All right, that's what a co-owner of one of Russia's largest fertilizer manufacturers said. Okay. It said, we know that VTB is planning to extend its activity in the region so we could switch to settlements in the currencies that are more convenient to the lender. It meaning that the money that's being loaned to you, it'll be more convenient for you talking about these countries over in Africa. All right. Any transaction you really do, you got to deal with the American dollar. So then rather having to convert my currency, why not I just deal directly with you, with my resources and with the currency that I do have, all right? Earlier this month, the Russian authorities announced plans to take all necessary steps towards de-dollarization of the country's economy. All right, meaning to get rid of the dollar. You ain't got to worry about that no more. You're dealing directly with me. Forget the middleman. I'm the man. The key point of the ambitious plan is to make it more profitable for key Russian exporters to use rubles instead of dollars. That's the point. All right, we don't want to do any more dealings with you. We want to make 100% profit over here. All right, ain't cutting no more corners. The measure is reportedly aimed at protecting the country's economy. Remember this now. So the reason why they're trying to get rid of the dollar so that they can protect their country's economy against imminent U.S. sanctions that threaten to ban investing in Russia's sovereign bonds, as well as to cut the countries off from dollar transactions. So in other words, the reason why they want to get rid of the dollar, because you had it to where even America said, okay, we're putting sanctions on Russia. If you do any dealings, all right, with Russia economically, we will put sanctions on you. But how about this? We just gonna get rid of the whole dollar so that there's no way you can put sanctions on us, because the sanctions is based upon what? The dollar bill. So if we don't have the dollar bill, how can you put sanctions on us anymore? All right. Now, the official said that Russian companies still face some difficulties doing business in Africa, with logistics being one of the more challenging problems. Now, listen to this right here. Not all the African countries have access to sea or ocean. Not all the territories have railroads, Mazepin said, stressing that Russian firms have to arrange difficult logistics chains to set up supplies. Financial guarantees are seen as another vital issue, according to the businessman. So, in other words, they don't have any seaports really for these countries. I think they're really talking about the countries in Central Africa, all right? Because they're not big on in being industrialized. You know, they still living by. They have certain little modern machinery over there, so to say. But I mean, you talking about like bringing in major imports and exports. They're not doing that, you know. And then bringing in a load on a cargo ship full of some goods, that's not really happening with them. But the first step that Russia's trying to do with these countries is to get rid of the dollar. That's the point. All right. Yeah. Okay. So that's basically it on that. But I'm gonna go back to a point that I wanted to bring out. I said I want you to remember, so that you can understand why I'm going to bring out this next article. It says, earlier this month, the Russian authorities announced plans to take all necessary steps toward de-dollarization of the country's economy. Okay? Now listen, they're talking about their economy. Now this is the article I said I saw earlier, but I didn't really go into it because I wanted to add some more meat to the plate, so to say. You know. Now this is not the one, Salakia. Bear with me. This is the one. And this article was produced on the 22nd of October. Matter of fact, let me see when the other article I had just read, when that was produced. That's not for you guys yet. Right here. This was, it was produced the 29th. I believe today. Yep, today. It was produced today. So the article that I had on hold for the longest was produced on what, about 7 days ago. About 7 days ago. All right. So let's go back to that real quick. India offloading U.S. treasuries to support national currency and buy gold. All right. So they're getting rid of the dollar too as well. Check this out. The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, is cutting down on its holdings of U.S. treasuries, joining a number of countries which have been dumping U.S. debt to bolster domestic economies. And I'm going to tell you something about India. Don't be sleeping on India. India is also a major, how should I put it, contender in the world economy as well. India has a lot of resources there. Okay? And India is also one of the main countries, the few countries I should say, that have nuclear capabilities as well. Understand that. Anyways, the country's share of U.S. sovereign debt saw a gradual decline from $157 billion in March to $140 billion as of the end of August, according to the latest U.S. Treasury report. RBI needed, all right, that'll be the Reserve Bank of India, needed U.S. dollars. Listen to this. So the Reserve Bank of India, they needed U.S. dollars. They needed their money. Listen to this, y'all. You cannot tell me this is not pimping. RBI needed U.S. dollars to sell in the market to stop the slide of its currency, the rupee. Come on. I need your money so I can make my money? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like American investor. No, if I want to do any trade, I got to convert my dollars to your dollars. All right? Listen to this. The bank has sold foreign currencies worth 18.6 billion in the spot market since April to rein the value of the rupee. So in other words, I gotta keep using your damn dollars so that my shit don't go under. And then I gotta sell off some of these foreign currencies, man. Alright, so now going back, it says foreign portfolio investors have pulled out more than $10 billion of their investments in the Indian market since April. So $10 billion of investments been taken out of the market. You know what that's like? That's like when the Dow drops. Why do you think the Dow drops at NYSE, New York Stock Exchange? Because all those stocks, think about the word stock. A stock will be like a toy that you see at a toy store. There are like 10 toys on one little rack, one little hanger. Each one of those pieces of toys is a stock. Alright, it's a final product of that stock. Whether you get natural resources to make it or whatever, that's still a stock. So people are putting money, investing inside of these companies, and that's what a stock is. It's an investment. Alright, so when you see the Dow dropping, that's people taking their money out of those investments, man. So when they're taking their money out of them investment, they finna put it somewhere else. Alright, so now with that being said, that's what people were doing. They basically taking money out of investments in India. Alright, and then it said in the Indian markets. Okay, New York Stock Exchange. Alright, that's Wall Street. It's a market, man. Alright, now it says that it has resulted in rupee losing more than 10% in value against the dollar, because people taking out, they're not investing into it anymore. Alright, so now these foreign countries, India and Russia, they're looking to get rid of the dollar so they can look at the betterment, alright, the increase in value of their own economy. Alright, I mean, there's like no way you can get around that. So now I'm gonna bring out a precept real quick, just to back up some of these things that I'm speaking about, man, because this right here goes back to the rich man. Alright, Salakia. It's not what I want. I'm going to the book of James. James 5:1. It says, Go to now, ye rich man, weep and howl. Bear with me. Now this is for y'all. Go to now, ye rich man, weep and howl for your miseries that have come upon you. That shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth-eating. Your gold and silver is canker, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you. The money has no value. It's old news now. Toilet paper. And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Alright? For ye heap treasures together for the last day. It said, now at the beginning it said, Go to now, ye rich man, weep and howl. Alright, for your miseries. I mean, a couple years ago, you had Jewish bankers. We talking about billionaires jumping jumping off the balcony of a suite committing suicide. This man has all this money. Why is he committing suicide? Because he knows that the imminent danger to come of the economic market crashing, man. Alright, so he was him weeping and howling and for his misery and committed suicide, man. But you average day people who can go get you 20 on pump 1 and get your 6-pack, think you're in good standings as well. Victuals shall be so good cheap that they may think themselves to be in good estate. Verse 4, Behold, the hires of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. So in other words, the laborers are who? Us, the so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, whether we're picking cotton and cutting down sugar cane, alright? Listen, the Lord just clearly said that we cry for unto him, okay? Because you reap from our labor, alright, by the fraud, which is what? Slavery, free labor. Alright, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanting. That's you, so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. And that's our people. To this day, we still getting murdered. We're not being hung this time, lynched. We're being shot down in the street by who's supposed to protect and serve. Lord, so you have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Because our people still want to vote. They still want to go march. Our people don't even resist them. They have Stockholm Syndrome. But this is what the Lord said about those who are patient. Be patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husband waited for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. And that's what we're experiencing right now. The Lord is drawing nigh, man. Alright? So keep your head on the swivel and stay in the spirit. Call YAHAWASHI, man. Alright? Double to my elders, singing honors to you brothers. Peace and blessing to the sincere men, women, and children that consist of the 1/3. Kwame Asha Allah, Mawaf Lababal, Shalom.